Welcome back to episode 15 in the Youthful Revolution series featuring Immortal DC. Season 3 is done and dusted and we got a busy summer window coming up. We are starting in the tactics screen today as I want to start with the bans and also the unbanned stuff. We played 3 different formations from the start of the season, but it was the earliest edition, the 5-1-1-2-1 that we're looking at right now, that was the most played with 13 matches in all competition. Followed by 10 games for the 5-1-1-2-1 wide direct with a bit of an asymmetric kind of formation to it. And only 7 games for the newest one, the 5-2-3, which means that we are of course gonna ban the first one with the most games and all those roles in it. And along with that, also the balanced mentality will be absolutely banned next season. And in possession, we're gonna go with mixed crosses. Yes, I know it's a bit, I also went with low crosses, but it's just I just feel like that's the least influential to the tactics, so I'm gonna go with mixed crosses. I'm always gonna go for that when I have the chance. I want to win, right? I want to win. In transition, we are gonna ban distribute to center backs. Yeah, we're absolutely gonna ban that one. And out of position, we are going to ban, again, we're actually gonna go with the prevent short goalkeeping distribution. And as an extra thing, I also have the defensive midfielder on the right hand side as a deep line playmaker on that side is banned for an extra season, as we know. So that's running until 2028-29 season before we can start using that again because of my small mistake this season. But the good news about all of this is that we are now going into the 4th season, which means this formation is all of a sudden back in, and also all the roles. Now we don't specifically need to go for this tactic again, but at least a lot of things is opening up for us to do. Which brings us to the squad planner. So what we are looking at right here is all, and I mean all the players we have next season, including all future transfers and youngsters coming in, and also that we have already. They are in there as the assistant manager wanted to put in, right? Now, we do have a lot of central defenders, we do have a lot of midfielders, and we do have a lot of attacking midfielders. But, and this is a very, very big but because rules and restrictions are gonna apply here, we are gonna struggle with first team 11. Well, actually the first 20 players or so. What I mean is, we need homegrown players, and all the players I'm bringing in, they're definitely not homegrown. So let me set this up how I think we have next season, of what I think is gonna be good enough to be here next season, and not just youngsters, but actually what I want in my squad. Here we are. So this took me 20 minutes or so to do, because we have so many players coming in. And we can't play all of them. We simply can't play all of them, and there are different reasons to why we can't play all of them. First off, we of course don't know what tactic we're gonna play next season, but that is why we are doing this with the squad planner. We need to figure out maybe a tactic we can play next season, giving us an idea of what we actually have. And like I said, this is a realistic picture of what we probably will have, at least before more future transfers we're gonna do. So we got 2 goalkeepers, and where we are lacking, let's go with where we are actually lacking players. We're lacking players in the defensive left area or fullback or wingback area as well. Over here, also midfielder, we are really lacking on this left-hand side in quality and also just in terms of depth. Also, the defensive midfielders, we don't have any quality, and we also don't really have any players there right now, which is also a bit of a concern. And where else are we lacking a little bit? Probably up top, right? We only have 2 players that are gonna be potentially playing there. So that is, again, we're not really looking for a tactic just yet, but at least we can start thinking about one with seeing this. What I do want to say is many of these AMCs here can also play out wide or go down and play midfielder roles. So we don't necessarily need to play with a AMC. And I don't even think we can play with AMCs. Because if we are playing with AMCs this turn around, they can play attacking midfielders. So they need to play like Enganse or Tranquista or something very fancy that I usually don't like to play with. Shadow Striker is open, so we could do Shadow Striker. But yeah, I don't think that's gonna be an option this time around. So I think we need to move some of those around to other places. And I also don't know what's gonna happen with our central defenders. We do have 2 new good central defenders coming in, or half-decent central defenders. Well, we actually had one of them already, Bodon, and then we get this guy, Rafus, who we will look at soon enough. But yeah, are we going back to a, defensive line of 4 instead of 5? Potentially, yes, we probably do. But yeah, absolutely there are plenty of things to think about with this, but I guess we're gonna go look at a couple of other things. I don't think I'm gonna show you the players before they're actually coming in, because some of them don't really have the full scout reports, so I might as well just wait with all of them to when they actually get in, which is kind of late. So I guess we're gonna wait with it. Alright, so back on the tactics screen here, I actually didn't have a lot to say elsewhere. So back on the tactics screen, my initial thought, seeing what we had in the squad planner, is a 4-3-3, which we haven't played yet actually. That's the first time we're gonna play that, if we do go with that. I mean, my main problem here is actually the defensive midfielder role. If we are playing this, we definitely need to go out and sign a really, really good defensive midfielder, because we do not have that at all. We also probably need a fullback on the left-hand side, because we also are lacking a little bit there. And that needs to be first 11 starting, in the starting 11, and we do have the problem they probably also need to be Portuguese. But yeah, that's just the initial thought, and yeah, I still have the other one in here, of course, which is very similar. The only difference is basically we put the central midfielder on support, take the inverted wingbacks and make them fullbacks, and take the libero up one step basically. That's pretty much it, right? And then play with inside forwards, of course, and a advanced forward. But it's not that far from the other one. And in terms of, I kind of want to go attacking in mentality. I want to see how if we can do it. I mean, it's unlikely that it's actually gonna be good in this league. But if we do get a little bit more quality, maybe we could do it. Maybe we could get some better results that way. So just a quick look here what I've set up so far. It's very simple, I would say, or it's simple for me. It's simple for me because we are doing. I actually want to try and invite crosses. I want to see what it's gonna do, because if we have better central defenders, we might be able to do that. I don't know. Also, if we have a good defensive midfielder, that will also help out in inviting crosses in the long run, because he will also take care of some of the second balls. I don't know. It's just an initial thought here, of course. Alright, so a couple of exciting news here. The board have agreed to upgrade the the recruitment once again. So we are probably gonna be in top 10 of recruitment in Portugal now, which is gonna be exciting. And the board have also agreed to at least somewhat increase the budget for junior coaching if we give meaningful playing time to at least 2 young players, which I think is gonna be the case. We are going to sell Emil Braun, the German. He's going back to Germany, to Oldenburg, I think it is. Yeah, there we go. And there is 2 reasons for this. One is that he never really played all that well, which is the main reason, but the other reason is also that we are struggling with this nation trained in. So he actually still had over a year left before he was a Portuguese, which was a problem if we needed to play him. So he is gonna leave us. We got quite a few staff members that are running out of contract, but I am fairly happy with most of them. Actually, all of them basically. They are very cheap. If I were to go out and find the exact same of quality that they have, anyone would demand. I mean, you could 10 times well, maybe not 10 times, but at least 5 times this amount of wages if I were to go out and find someone new with the same quality. So I'm gonna keep them for as long as I can, that's for sure. The only one that is gonna be left out is the director of football. I actually think I want a new one, or maybe I want to try and get in a loan manager, because I don't really want to do all the loans myself, because there's gonna be more and more loans going forward. So either a new director of football or a loan manager. We can't actually have a loan manager right now, but I don't think this guy's good enough, so he is gonna be left out in the dark. So I wanted to go over a couple of things here in the dynamics. As you can see, team cohesion is very low, and I think it's gonna be even lower from the start of next season. At least that is my belief. I'm not too sure why that is. It's apparently it also has to do with the experience some issues with their vision and reactions to event unfolding when playing. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what it is. So they have that has a slightly impact on positioning during matches, and the team's collection mental state is slightly disappointed at the moment. I don't know why that is, honestly. I think it maybe has to do with some training as well. Yeah, it might have to do with these guys being unhappy. So we have Joe Arthur, who thinks we should be doing more quickness training. And then we have another one here that is causing teams poor form, or we have a poor form. I mean, the thing is, our training is working overall. So we just have a couple of players that are unhappy about what they are experiencing, because the training has gone really well throughout this season, extremely well. But apparently they're just not happy, and it really influenced the rest of the team. So Joao Arthur and Upara here, I don't really know what to do about that. We also have a couple of other slight problems, especially going forward into the next season. We have a problem when it comes to our leadership. It is very, very likely that Rodriguez is going to leave, and it is also very likely that Pinner is going to leave. And I also do think both Pedrinho is going to leave because he's a loan deal right now. Upara is probably staying, and Fabinho is also probably staying. So we only have 2 real leaders left, and the rest, well, it's up to these guys down here to step up, which is going to be interesting to see. So let's see actually what it's saying over here. One of the team leaders, Pedro Rodriguez, is approaching the end of his career, should retire soon. Yeah, but yeah, he actually wanted a loan deal, but he's probably going to leave at the end of this season. We are lacking good number of high influential players in the squad. We'll look to recruit more leading players. Yeah, so that might be it. That might be why the cohesion is really bad. The squad is showing a lack of influential players. Recruiting more could help. I think we actually do get a lot of the new players we're going to get might have very good leadership. I'm going to check up on that and come back to you guys. Yeah, at least 3 or 4 of the new players that we are signing for the first 11 is probably going to be like 12, 13 in leadership. So I don't think it's going to be a big problem next season. But there might be a turnover, right? There might be a turnover of players here, so we'll see how that goes. All right, that is interesting. Diogo Pina have actually signed a new contract, and I tried to go in on him 2 times, and both times he wanted to be a squad player, and yeah, blah blah blah. And I just handed it over to the director of football, who we are actually gonna lose in a very short time here, but we're gonna get another one. I think I'm actually okay with director of footballs to some of these specific situations where I just can't get a deal through how I want them. Then I hand it over to them because they just seem to be better at it. So 1-year extension after league games is not great, but I'm not sure I don't know if he's gonna get 10 games, to be honest. But we do have an option to actually extend this deal later on. I think he's gonna be playing in the B squad next season. But I just want to at least keep some of our old kind of players. And I mean, Diogo Pino have definitely been one of the best players at the club. So he's going to get his contract, but he's not going to be a squad player. He's going to be a fringe. We have 21 signings. I don't think I've ever seen that number before on this screen. That's ridiculous. That's insane. Alright, well, first off, let's just send them all on intensive Portuguese language course. I don't know how many of them is not speaking Portuguese, because most of them are Brazilians or Portuguese. So, well, yeah. But anyway, let's get started, shall we? The first one is João Camara, a what's it called? Guinea-Bissau, right? Guinea-Bissau is he from, but he is actually trained in Portugal. So that's the reason why I got him. He's 17 years old, and he is going to be one of those players that are part of the first squad. I think he's gonna be good enough, maybe even a starter, but I'm thinking probably more like third choice on either side. So because he got 2 really good feet, so yeah, he can play either side, and he actually looks for a pass rather than attempting to score, which is probably good because his finishing is only 6. I think the only really weak scenario with this guy, or well, there is 2 weaknesses I would say about this. He's a very technical, mental kind of guy. His physicals are not great. I mean, they are not great at all. And also his tackling is a little bit low here. But otherwise, and also positioning of 7 is not too great. But otherwise, I think this guy on the ball is fairly good, and he is a resolute personality. Jonathan Riviere, a French player, 17 years old, and he is a central defender who is gonna be playing in the under 19th. He could be loaned out, but for now, I'm just gonna plop him down in the under 19. Some of these players we have seen before, like this guy, Judy Rafus, but I'm gonna go through them again here. So he is probably gonna be the main guy in central defense. Now that jumping reach of 17 is gonna help us out a lot on corners. A lot actually. Also the positioning is gonna help us out in terms of defensive work. The tackling of 15 is massive. He's not very quick, but yeah, I think with that positioning he's probably gonna be fine. Gabriel, probably the weakest of all my signings. I mean, when I see him again here, I don't know why I actually signed him. This is one of those where I just sit there thinking, why did I do that? His reflexes of 6 makes no sense. Why would I take this guy in? I have no idea. But yeah, we got him, and I think we're gonna release him again. I have no idea why I did this. He's only here for a year, so maybe I was just thinking, let's just bring him in and, you know, let him leave there, or let him sit there for a year. But this guy's never gonna be good enough, so I'm not sure what I was thinking here. But that's one out of 21. That is 1 out of 21, right? So if there is no more like this guy, then I'm okay with it. Zalamao Murato, I think his name is. He is a winger, and I do believe that he is probably gonna be between under 19 and also, you know, he's in that area where he could potentially come up as a 4th choice, maybe 3rd choice as a winger, but I doubt he's gonna get a lot of playtime, if any. But he is Portuguese, so we don't really need to register him, which is great. Or he doesn't need to, he can be on the bench without a worry, so to speak. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the signing. He got a really good balance, he got the really good agility, work rate is really good, stamina is really good, so he's gonna be good in the pressures as well. That's probably why I really wanted him, and also because he is a realist in personality, so that also helps out. Jan Lucas Jurgensen. Now this guy is our new star signing, right? He's the star signing of this transfer window. Out of all 21 so far, this is gonna be the main guy in front. Advanced forward, 19-year-old, 750 pounds. He is expensive, but I think there is gonna be goals in this guy. 2-feeded, right? 2-feeded, 14 finishing. He got the composure of 12. He got the decision making of 14. He got the technique of 15. He's fairly quick, pace of 12, stamina of 15, work rate of 12. So he also works in the pressures. Acceleration of 10 is probably one of his weaknesses, along with, you know what, I don't see a weakness. Well, yeah, his jumping and heading, right? Jumping and heading of 8 and 7. That is his weakness. Otherwise, I think this guy is gonna be really good for us. Also fairly determined. I'm very happy about this. It's gonna be expensive, but if we can get this guy scoring like, I mean, if you take a look at his history here, he definitely is capable of scoring goals. The question is, how many will he score in my tactic? I think he can double this. I think he can actually do 23 out of 23 apps, if we are having a really good season, that is. But yeah, I'm very happy with this one because we needed a really good striker and we got it. Paulo Roberto is probably one of those, like Jurgensen before, that is gonna be a starting 11 player. I think it is time for Teixeira to move on, and I do think this guy is around as good as Teixeira. We will actually try and see if that's the case. Now, I couldn't really find another guy. I probably wanted someone that was a little bit better than this guy, but there's just no one. I couldn't find anyone young enough that was actually good enough. And here's the thing, Teixeira is like 26 or something now, and he is actually not Portuguese trained. So I might as well just find a Brazilian who is also not, that is a lot younger than him, and then take him on. But the problem is Teixeira is still on a 1-year contract, so I don't know. We'll see what happens here, but he's a young goalkeeper and he's coming in as a breakthrough prospect, so we could still play Teixeira if he's not moving on. But I think he's better than Teixeira. Let's actually compare them here, right? Let's go in and compare them. I think he's better. Let's see. Shot stopping, Teixeira is definitely better in that aspect. Physical is the same. Speed, he's a little bit faster, Teixeira. Communication, he's better. And he's also better in aerial and distribution. So I think I think an eccentric, but I think eccentric is actually a bad thing. So at least to me, eccentric is not really a good thing. So Teixeira is actually worse in this one. I don't like eccentric goalkeepers. So I think overall, probably Teixeira is slightly better. But think about it. He's 26, he's 18. He's gonna be a lot better than Teixeira in a year or maybe 2 years. So yeah, it should be okay. I wish I could find someone a little bit better than him, but well, we got a new goalkeeper. Valentim Bonifacio is a winger on the left-hand side, and the left-hand side is actually one of our weak areas. Now this guy is rapid. He's very, very fast, and that is probably his, well, that's everything he is. He's just very, very quick. He do have also the agility. So if you have acceleration, agility, and balance, along with the pace, along with decent enough technique and a little bit of dribbling and crossing, you can probably make a good winger out of him. He also do have the flair, which is also important, and he is, well, he's actually only determined. Well, 11 determination, but not. He's a balanced kind of player personality. So, I mean, is he good? He's like, maybe he's gonna be good. Maybe he's gonna be part of the first team. I can't tell. I haven't been able to find someone else that is better. Right now, it's between Bonifacio, Chaval, or Pina, right? That's the three we have out there, and it's not. I mean, Chaval is actually looking. He's coming back from a loan, and he actually developed quite a bit out there. So we could potentially play Chaval, which is one of the first intakes we actually had. Even before we were the manager, he came in, right? He's actually one of the first intakes. He looked really good back then, and he looks even better now. But again, is that really what we want? Do we need something better there? I don't know. Zensinho is a midfielder, and he is likely not gonna be part of the first squad. So he is either gonna be loaned out, or he is going to be sitting in the under-19. Evan Gaubert is a French player, and I don't think he's going to be part of the starting squad or the our first squad. He looks fairly decent, except from his acceleration of 5. Otherwise, he actually looks like a promising player. He got some really decent numbers in there. Determination of 18. I mean, yeah, he's a perfectionist. So that's good. First touch of 16, pretty good. Technique of 12, I like that. Jumping reach of 13. So how tall is he actually? 183. Okay, not that tall, but still, it's worth mentioning. Yeah, I think I just took this guy in because I thought, yeah, there is a bit of a player here, and even if I'm never gonna use him, I could potentially sell him later on to a French league, I think. But yeah, he's probably just gonna play for the under-19th. Eduardo Pio, yes, I think that's how you pronounce it. I can't be sure. But this guy is a 19-year-old Portuguese. Yes, he's Portuguese. Finally, we get a Portuguese. He's probably gonna be the second option striker, and he got all the numbers you want to see on a striker. He got good finishing, good composure. Well, I say good, but 12 and 14. 14 off the ball. Technique of 11. He got decent enough physicals and some fairly good mentals all around. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Also passing of 12, that's an unusual one. Dribbling of 11. He could be an attacking midfielder as well, I suppose. But I think we are probably gonna deploy him as a advanced forward for the most part. When Jurgensen is not gonna be playing. And the good thing about this guy is that he is Portuguese, so he can just sit on the bench as that Portuguese because he is trained in the nation, so that's good. And the next one here is Edir, who is actually a Brazilian, but with a Portuguese trained passport. Well, okay, or just trained in Portugal, basically. So yeah, he's a third choice winger right now, at least, and I think he will be squad option. I don't think he's going to be in the under-19th. I think he's good enough to actually be up in the first squad. So we will probably see him. There is definitely some problems with him because we are playing inside forwards, and he doesn't really have the work rate or the vision or the long shots for that matter. Stamina is a little bit low, composure is a bit low for scoring goals, finishing is a little bit low, but we could just tell him to not shoot and just play simple kind of things, maybe go on the outside because he do have the dribbling and first touch. So maybe we want him to use more as a winger rather than an inside forward when he is playing. And we got one more goalkeeper, and he's also Brazilian, and he's also 18, so yeah. Now this guy, he's probably third choice, but I don't think he's gonna be playing because, Yeah, I doubt it. I doubt he's ever going to be playing, but he probably is going to be playing for the under 19. So let's just compare him quickly with the other guy so we have an idea of who is the better one. Yeah, clearly Roberto is by far the better goalkeeper here, right? So I think Santos is gonna be the under 19 keeper, the third choice, basically. Mauricio Robalo is our new winger on the right-hand side after Idir. He is probably right now second choice because we do have Luan, but Luan might be leaving us, so this guy could potentially be first choice. And you know what? He might not be he might not be a bad first choice. Look at that pace, agility, and acceleration. And even the balance is also very high. His physicals is right up there. He's not very strengthy, but I don't think he needs to be. What he also is his flair is really good, his technique is fairly decent, and he also do have crossing of 12, which doesn't really help us a lot if he's playing as an inside forward, but sometimes they will definitely also cross it. But yeah, I like the work rate and stamina as well here, 12 and 14, so he's gonna be helpful in the pressure. 12 in teamwork too. I like him. I really, really like this guy, and I think he's gonna be good for us. The other good thing is that he is Portuguese, so no problems with the, you know, that 14 players we need. That actually helps us because we need 14 Portuguese trained players out there. So he's gonna probably be one of those. Otavio Henrique, another Brazilian. Yeah, I absolutely just emptied Brazil for any decent talent that I could get my hands on. And this guy is, I think he could be very good actually. There is a couple of things that doesn't really look that great, but what I'm thinking this guy is that I'm gonna retrain him into a defensive midfielder. Yep. Now, determination of 20, that goes without saying. He's a driven personality, so just that alone is sometimes just worth getting players. So yeah, stamina of 16 is brilliant as a defensive midfielder. He got the marking, tackling is 10, right? But the marking is good. He got the technique, he got the first touch, he got some of the the vision is only 9, but yeah, that is what it is. He got room to improvements, right? He got room to improvements, but I think with a determination of 20, I think this guy could improve quite a lot, even at the age of 18. So let's just take a look at his attribute here if we put in the defensive midfielder, so you have an idea of what I'm talking about here. On support, right? There is the numbers. I think he could be very good in that role. With all his other numbers, especially the physicals, pace, agility, balance, natural fitness, he can run all day. I think he's just gonna be good down there, so I'm gonna train him to a defensive midfielder. Rafael, another Brazilian, 18 years of age, and he is probably gonna sneak into the squad, the starting squad or our main squad. I'm not sure yet because we might have too many Brazilians, but too many foreigners basically, not trained in Portugal. But if there is one that is going to sneak in there, it could be this guy as the last kind of player. I'm actually only looking for 6 players that are outside of Portugal or not trained in Portugal, and he could be that 6th kind of option because he's very versatile. He can play central defender fairly okay. He can play defensive midfielder, he can play fullback on the left hand side, so he can actually cover a lot of ground, this guy, so that's why I like him. And yeah, I just feel like that he's a well-rounded kind of player. He doesn't really have any really big holes in his system. His technique is only 6, so you don't want to get him too far forward, I suppose. Or you don't want him to do anything too crazy on the ball, but otherwise he's just a fairly well-rounded, all-round kind of guy. Mateus is a striker, also Brazilian, also 18. I think when I signed many of these, they were actually 17. That's okay. I don't think this guy is going to be part of our squad at any time, so he's probably just going to be playing in the under-19. And the same goes for this guy, Marcos Lindo, another striker. He got some really good finishing, but I don't see them being part of the main squad right now, just because of also the foreigner problem. So either they are getting loaned out in Portugal, because I do want them to be trained as trained in Portugal. So either that or they just did in our under-19s and scored some goals down there. Fabio Gonçalves, a 17-year-old Portuguese player, probably one of the most exciting signings when it comes to, he's Portuguese, he's only 17 and he looks fairly dang decent. yeah, I'm pretty happy with this one. I think he's gonna be probably the best central midfielder we have, or I mean probably a starting midfielder. First touch of 15, that's pretty good as a 17-year-old. Yeah, I mean, just really good numbers all around. Work rate of 14 and stamina of 12 is making sure that our pressures are gonna be working with him. Teamwork of 11, passing 12, off the ball 12. He just got all the numbers you want to see here: decision making, composure, anticipation. Yeah, I mean, it's he even got long shots of 10 and finishing of 11. So going forward, he's also going to score a couple of goals. Is there any weaknesses with this guy? Marking of 6 is not great. Tackling of 8, not specifically great. So I guess he's definitely one that you want to move further forward than maybe the other central midfielder. Or at least he will do that, I think. So, I mean, all in all, just a very, very good signing, I think. I signed quite a few strikers this time around, and we do have another one here. Are we going to call him a target forward? I guess we are, because he is 193. He got the jumping reach, he got the first touch and finishing, even the bravery of 16. So he could be a fairly good target forward in a couple of years if he develops nicely. Again, I don't see him being part of the first squad right now, because he's just not quite there. I think so, but maybe in a year's time or two he could be. What is his name actually? Isigwax. I can't say that. Di Paula. I'm gonna call him Di Paula, because that first name is absolutely crazy, isn't it? Mamadi NJ. He is a fullback from Portugal, right? We got a Portuguese fullback, but he is not really the starting kind of player that I was looking for. I actually signed this guy as one of the the longest back in time. I think it was actually last summer I actually signed him, so quite a long time ago. But anyway, he's probably 4th choice or something like that. So I think he's just gonna be a part of the under-19s kind of setup. Wow, that was a tough one to get through. 21 signings. Nah, it was fun. I love it. I love new players, and that's why I would never do a Youth Academy series, because the Youth Academy series would not have this happening, right? I mean, yeah, you can absolutely argue that it's way easier to play this way, which it is, but not signing players, it's just not for me. But yeah, it looks like a lot of these players, the fans are happy at least, so that's good. That's very, very good. All right, so Luan, he is actually leaving us, and we get like 30k or something like that for him. But MRT from Brazil, I think they're from Brazil, MRT, they are suggesting that we get him back on loan. I mean, sure, we don't pay for him that way, so sure, I think we are gonna do that. I was actually like sad. I was sitting here thinking, oh, it's so sad. I really liked Luan. He looked so good when he played last season, and thankfully we get him for another season, because he's definitely gonna be the starter. And then we have 2 really good wingers on that side, so that's good. Robalo and Luan, and even Edir as the 3rd backup. Not a bad deal for us, I would say. Oh, you thought we were done with signings? Oh no, we're not. And this guy is not even for the first team. Fernando Reis, yes. I mean, he could potentially be good enough for the first team, to be honest. He is actually not that bad, is he? No, he very good physicals, got the aggression. Concentration is a bit low, decision making is a bit low, which we like to see higher. He's a resolute personality, so that's good. Marking is good, tackling is meh, hitting is meh. He got a decent first touch, decent vision. You know what? I think this guy might actually be good enough to be starting in. And if in any case, he's definitely gonna be in the first squad, because he can also play a fullback on defense. Yeah, so we're definitely stacking up a couple of guys on the left-hand side as well now, and he is left-footed as well, so that's good. Yeah, I think this guy might be a starter. So Riley Rosata, I'm not sure if I should do this, or I also just forgot that we actually do have an affiliate, and I could go look for some of their youngsters as well, because the only thing we really need right now is probably a fullback like Rosata here, and I don't know if he's good enough. I kind of want a really, really, really good fullback on the left-hand side, and this is probably not it. So if I were to take this guy, should I just... The problem is he's 19, so he will never become a homegrown. And is he good enough to just take as a second option? I don't... I don't really know, man. I don't really know. I don't feel like it. I really don't feel like it. I mean, he is a breakthrough prospect, but he's on 300 wages. I'm gonna delay it actually. That's the first time I'm gonna delay one here because I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. I can't find any good fullbacks out there. So, but maybe Wiz, or maybe they do have one. Let's go check up on that. Let's see. Let's go in here, affiliates. Let's go to Viz and see what they got. I haven't. Actually, we need to get some team reports because I haven't done it. Yeah, we don't even have any information on them. That's not good. Do we have any information here? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So we do need to scout them first before we can actually know anything about it. The preseason is about to start, and I think I want to cut this up in 2 episodes because otherwise it's just gonna be way too long. So just to update you on where we are, let's go into the squad planner here because I think, yeah, I'm gonna try the 4-3-3 here and see how it works, and if it feels good, then we might move forward with it. But it's really hard to judge. Like we saw last season, it's really hard to get a good feeling for the friendlies and if your tactic is working or not, because it felt like it was really good last season. So we have to see. But I mean, we know that the 4-3-3 is generally speaking just a good tactic. And I am I'm fairly comfortable about saying that this tactic is likely going to be better than what we had last season anyway, with the inside forwards, fullbacks, central midfielders and all that kind of jazz. So I'm not too worried about it. Now, so in terms of the overall squad here, we have the squad depth that we need basically. I don't think we are in any kind of problems in that area. As we can see, we have 3 goalkeepers, 4 defensive midfielders, 3 strikers. No worries, right? No worries. Now, where we probably want a bit of quality is in the fullback area on the left-hand side. I don't think Silver, Pinheiro, or Injay is good enough to be the starter. So I think we need a loan deal. If we could go to that club we have as an affiliate, Viz, I think they're called Viz, and find a really good fullback, that would be ideal. Same case with the defensive midfielders here. I'm not too sure about Otavio, Enrique, and Rafael because both of them are not natural in that kind of spot. I mean, I see the numbers that could be good enough, but maybe we also want a very good defensive midfielder. That would be very cool. And the last one, I actually kind of forgot about Jose Almeida here because, yeah, he was out on loan and he came back and I was like, oh, we got this guy. So maybe we give him the chance. I mean, or maybe we need a just slightly better quality there. I'm not too sure. It's definitely not as bad as I thought it was with him in there in the mix as well with the other 2. So, I mean, I think we're okay. I mean, just the defensive midfielder maybe, and it's definitely the fullback. Otherwise, I think we're good. I don't really, a fullback on the right here, Hopfer, Thompson, and Fabinho. I mean, we know what Fabinho is capable of, but I think the other 2 is probably going to start more games this season, unless they are just playing horribly, then Fabinho is there to take over, of course. But I do want the youngsters to start taking over here, especially Hopfer. I think he can be a really good player in the future, but of course this is going to be an extremely young team. 20. No, I mean the only one that is more than 20 is Fabinho. So yeah, I'm a little bit worried about that. How's it looking in here? Yeah, team cohesion is definitely not going up right now. So yeah, but anyway guys, I think we're going to do the rest of the preseason next time and do the tactic stuff and probably the first game in the league as well. Actually, is the league actually... Yes, the competition is being shown. Let's take a look at the preview here just for now. Wow, we are 11th right now. Holy moly. Why? Really? Have we increased our quality that much? Maybe we did. Or maybe it's getting updated later on in the preseason. We have to check up on that before the season starts, but that is 14. That is a lot. I did not expect. I was expecting like 100 or maybe 200, but 14 in odds. That's insane. Oh, we do have some big teams down here. We got Porto B and Braga B. Ooh, and also Academica is still around. So not easy. Not easy at all. But yeah, interesting to see that we are not even remotely close to being a relegation kind of team here. Maybe we can push for a promotion. Now I'm getting, now I'm really getting there. Nah. If we could just be having a fairly secure season in the midsection, right, where we don't really get close to getting relegated, and then just have another year where our youngsters are getting a little bit older, I think I would be happy with that actually. But I don't know, we'll see. Maybe we get something even more than that. But that would be my expectations for what I'm seeing right now. So yeah, anyway, I think we're gonna end the episode, and next time it's gonna be the preseason, or the real preseason. This was just an early transfer thing. Lots of transfers so far. Yeah, I wonder how big is our under 19s now. We probably got a little bit too many down here. But maybe not all of them are actually Murato. Yeah, I think actually this is pretty much all of them. And yeah, it's quite big. It's quite big, and the B team has also got quite a few members now, so that's good. And when it comes to the finances, if you are wondering, yeah, we're not even there yet. we are spending quite. Oh yeah, I forgot. We still have more transfers coming in. They just didn't come in at the same time as the rest, but we do have more coming in, and they are all for the under 19s. Well, Victor Hugo might be. Not really. We're not really. Nah, I think they're just under 19s player. But yeah, we do have more coming in, and that's why I wanted to split it up, because there's just so much going on in this summer transfer. So yeah, we got a massive academy now. Massive academy, exactly what we wanted to see. So hopefully we can get a good preseason and get some friendlies done next time, so we can hopefully get a good season in the real, season. Anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, I'll see you around next time.